How much should you walk with hip osteoarthritis? Hi everyone and welcome back. Today we are talking about a really important question for anyone living with hip osteoarthritis. How much should you actually be walking? If you've been diagnosed with hip OA, you probably wondered, should I be walking more to stay healthy? Or could too much walking make things worse? Well, let's break that down in a way that makes sense. First of all, walking is essential. We know that. But here's something you may not have here. Too much walking can actually speed up the progression of hip osteoarthritis. There's a study out of Kyoto University that looked into this. It found that when you take a lot of steps each day, especially if your joints are already compromised, the total pressure on your hip joint builds up, and that's linked to faster joint damage. And it's not just one study. A review from Japan Ministry of Health also warned that walking more than 10,000 steps a day could increase the risk of joint degeneration not just in the hip but also the knee. Now you might be thinking, well, if too much walking is bad, should I just rest? That brings us to the second point. Doing too little can be just as harmful. If you stop walking or moving your joint out of fear or pain, your muscle weakens, your mobility shrinks, and you actually set the stage for the condition to get worse. It's tricky balance, but the reach gives us a helpful guideline. So what's the sweet spot? Experts recommend aiming for around 5,000 to 7,000 steps per day. This amount seems to be the safest range where you can keep your joint active and your muscles strong without putting excess stress on your hips. It's also worth noting that people who walk less than 6,000 steps per day often develop poor walking mechanics. That means their walking becomes less efficient and may actually put more strain on the joint even with fewer steps. So here's the takeaway. It's not just about how much you walk, it's about how you walk. Now let's talk about pain. If you're pain, total rest might seem like the obvious answer, but total rest can actually make things worse. Instead, try gentle movement within your comfort zone. That could be walking on flat surface, light stretching, or even water-based exercise if you have access to a pool. The key is to keep moving but do it wisely. If you are unsure about your walking posture or how your movement is affecting your joint, consider getting help from a professional. Physiotherapists and osteopaths can evaluate your walking pattern and give you personalized advice to reduce joint stress and move more efficiently. Avoid going over 10,000 steps a day. Aim for around 5,000 to 7,000 steps daily. Don't stop moving even when in pain, but move mindfully. And finally, pay attention to how you move, not just how far. Thanks for watching, and I hope this gives you a clear idea of how to manage your walking when living with hip osteoarthritis. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might benefit. Stay active, stay balanced, and see you in the next video. Thank you.